It is a terrorist attack. If nothing else, it is a psychological operation aimed at undermining our confidence and undermining our consideration of our capability to maintain our own government, and to attempt to try to compel us to look outside of our own nation for examples of some sort of inspiration to emulate and potentially even cede to, acknowledging that external leadership is capable of providing us with better reference points, if not actual leadership, than what we have for ourselves or we have in our own country. And it's difficult for me because for a very long time, I've had no one to talk to. And if I do something affirmative, and if I do something that I think might have actually been able to respond in the moment, I'm supposed to understand that someone's claimed it and it belongs to Hillary Clinton. I look kind of like her, I look enough like her, and I was already chosen to be set up to have my life harvested for it to go back to her and to go back to her supporters right around this time. And I've been watching the unfolding of events in the Texas area and other parts of Texas. And since I've moved to Dallas, which is in very close proximity to areas I understand have a very significant investment in this, I've seen it fold out to the point where literally I can only talk to one person, right? Then we've got COVID, we've got all of these other things going on. It's very unfortunate. When I was in the homeless shelter, I was there with women who identified as military veterans. When I was on the street, I met men who were military veterans. There's some military veteran that's got like a broker's license downtown, basically aiding and abetting acts of terrorism domestically and internationally, and thinks he has the cover of a former Department of State secretary, letting him get away with that. Well, my life's slandered, and we've got all of this terrible, terrible stuff going on. There's several cities in this country that have been subjected, I believe, to some sort of paramilitary effort under the guise of it being about the actual United States military, where people are being clandestinely recruited into simulating covert ops or black ops in their cities as a reference to events going on internationally. And they're supposed to agree to engage in acts of domestic sabotage with the understanding that it will set up futures agreements that can be leveraged for some sort of substituted or swapped out transaction, ostensibly to help the military in other countries. This is what's going on that level. And meanwhile, because I'm this way, I don't know what it was. I found something, and I don't think I'm supposed to reveal it. It's supposed to what? Be confidential? Is it supposed to be counterintelligence? If you issue a note or a bond or a bill at a bank, including a central bank, and somebody proves there was fraud, and that the events that went on that day were so misrepresentative and so miscalculating of what was actually needed that you have to reissue it. You have to recalibrate and reconfigure it and open it up because the underwriting of what was issued that day was demonstrated to have been fraudulent, or at least was demonstrated to have been of such significant misrepresentation that before it can yield, it has to be mischaracterized. See, it has to be recharacterized. It has to be recomported and recharacterized. Is this because you're trying to take something somebody else did and rewrite it so that when it comes due, it is as if it is someone else's? What if if there was fraud involved in the investment to begin with, and it's proven there was fraud? What do you do then? This is the third time I have seen this happen, where Treasury has had a specific matrix of reissues. And I believe in 2017, in the summer of 2017, right before Hurricane Harvey, they did something similar to what they've been doing in the last couple of weeks that I was able to see in a more comprehensive manner, which is basically something, and I believe it was litigious as well, was happening and provided a window of time during which, if things were recalibrated, certain outcomes could be effectuated. Now, I'm sure there are people on the planet who have positive outlooks and want beautiful, beneficial things for their societies. But in the void of having anything close to honesty from anybody since basically the beginning of 2016, if not through the end of 2015, all I can really do is be honest. And what I see over and over again is fraud and graft and deceit at a very high level, a very intentionally orchestrated high level, even in the most basic access to resources I have on a daily basis. And I believe that what happened is in the end of summer 2017, there was a temporary time frame during which people were to be emboldened to participate in a paradigm Texas already had coded in to certain laws that expired at the beginning of September 1st of 2019. And they did what they needed to put things into place, including things that were put into place to be effectuated beginning at the beginning of January of this year. But you know how it is when you try to go through the court. They may or may not listen to you. If you don't have a lawyer, what are they going to do? Well, I know that today's the 10th. 1, 2, 3, 4. There's supposed to be 4 announcements today for reissues. See, they were already announced on another day. They were already sold on another day. They were already settled on another day. They're supposed to come due at some point. But they're recalibrating factors connected. And this is in addition to 2 others that were announced 2 days ago, but are being auctioned today. If you don't like today's auction, are you going to go for the next days on the list? See, because I understand this is a terrorist attack. I knew it. And I don't know how to not see a terrorist attack, because that's exactly what I've seen, and it's lined up. And without anybody talking to me and giving me what I need to be able to secure certain things, certain pathways don't get cleared while other ones don't get cut off and just accrue. And you can't force everybody in the world to listen to some crap about COVID-19 and social distancing and cloth mask and, tell us all these terrible stories about people getting sick, when year after year after year after year I've been trying to tell you about what you do to sick people, how you make people sick. So what do you want to do about this? At the earlier part of the evening, several hours ago, a more assertive woman was like, this is not happening today. We have enough evidence